An historic day.
Celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy.
An historic day in the United States as the nation welcomes the 46th president in the country's history.
During an uncertain time, an untraditional inauguration marked by a pandemic, a new era is ushered in for America.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. At a time when so many of the inaugural traditions we have come to expect have been absent, one thing stayed the same.
The new president of the United States took the oath of office earlier today. After taking the presidential oath, President Joseph R. Biden declared democracy has prevailed. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton were on hand for the transfer of power, as well as outgoing Vice President Mike Pence. However, notably absent, former President Donald Trump, who declined to greet his successor as he hinted at a political return.
We will be back in some form. I wish the new administration great luck and great success.
President Biden will be holding his first presser tonight. We'll listen into that later in the newscast.
We have much more local angles to get to on the inauguration, but first we're going to check in on the weather with Dave. Dave, pretty chilly start to the day, but hey, by the afternoon, it wasn't so bad out there.
Yeah, big change. Started below zero for a lot of towns this morning, and then we went to 10 degrees warmer than normal this afternoon. And the reason, a low pressure system passing by is drawing up air from the south, so it's sending the temperature quotient up and the snow quotient as well. 30% chance for light snow tonight and through a portion of tomorrow. Probably not adding up to huge totals, but the way the winter's been rolling, this little flurry chance here is the best we've seen in a while. And by the time it wraps up tomorrow afternoon for some towns near the Canadian border, places like Orr and Ely could cross the threshold of an inch by a hair. And we might go 1 to 2 inches in the Upper Peninsula, and for folks in the snow belt, the rest of us really just a trace to less than an inch. Once we get into Sunday, though, there's a better chance for snow coming our way, and I'll talk about how much we could get on that day coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Dave. Minnesota U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar had a high honor in D.C. today. The once presidential hopeful running against Biden delivered the opening remarks for today's inauguration. CBS3's John Cardinelli breaks down what Minnesota's senior senator had to say.
Klobuchar used her introductory speech to remind Americans that democracy could not be taken for granted. She also talked about how the United States Capitol is a symbol of sacred trust between the nation's leaders and its people. Klobuchar, a Democrat, says the induction ceremony itself is a accumulation of 244 years of democracy, as it is the moment when a leader is brought forward by the people. She went on to say the insurrection at the Capitol just 2 weeks ago awakened Americans to their responsibility to carry the torch for democracy. Klobuchar says today is the day when our democracy picks itself up, brushes off the dust, and does what America always does, move forward as a nation.
We pledge today never to take our democracy for granted as we celebrate its remarkable strength. We celebrate its resilience, its grit. We celebrate the ordinary people doing extraordinary things for our nation.
Klobuchar also said today will be remembered in history as Vice President Kamala Harris is the first female and first woman of color to hold the office. Klobuchar ended her speech saying America is a country of so much good, and as long as we remember that, anything is possible.
Thanks, John. 8th District Congressman Pete Stauber said he's looking forward to finding common ground with the new administration. Representative Stauber was in the crowd during today's events in D.C. The Republican tweeted shortly before the oath, saying he wishes the incoming president the best of luck. Stauber added he's ready to find common ground with the Biden administration when possible in order to move the country forward. Pictured with Stauber there is his friend Jason George. George is the business manager for the Local 49 union, which represents workers in mining, construction, and other industries.
And back here at home, Northlanders spent the day reflecting on this moment in history. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with a local political science expert and students and explains what the day means.
You God, so help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
The presidential inauguration is a traditional ceremony held to welcome the new administration to the White House.
A lot of it is ceremony. There's nothing in the Constitution that says this is how you do it. It's kind of emerged as a new beginning.
UMD political science professor Cindy Rugeley says it's a time to highlight our democracy as the newly elected officials are sworn into office.
Give the president a time to reach out to those who who have supported him and those who have not.
This is America's day. This is democracy's day.
For UMD political science students like Luke Frisco, this year's inauguration was the first he was able to really understand its importance.
In the past, have you paid attention to the inauguration, or was it anything you watched in school growing up?
I vaguely remember Obama's inauguration, and I remember the election of Donald Trump, but I cannot say that I was ever particularly in tune with it.
So help me God.
Rugeley says Kamala Harris being the first female and person of color to be sworn in as vice president made an impact on her students.
Actually started clapping in the classroom after she took the oath. And that was consistent of students who I know have more conservative beliefs, more Republican beliefs, and students who are more Democratic.
The COVID-19 pandemic and insurrection at the U.S. Capitol surely made the inauguration historic, as there were no crowds and increased security.
And it did affect it. It changed how it was done. But still, it was still the celebration, and I think it didn't dampen the spirit.
Rugeley adds today's inauguration and the weeks leading up to it are very useful for teaching her students in the future.
National Guard members from across the Northland were in the nation's capital today supporting security efforts. This video shows Minnesota Air National Guardsmen arriving at their assigned location, checking their gear and grabbing a quick bite to eat. Members of Duluth's 148th Fighter Wing are among them. A Northland troop from the 194 Cavalry Squadron are also in D.C. 850 Minnesota Guard members were deployed. Meanwhile, 550 members of the Wisconsin National Guard also were deployed to D.C. They came from units across the state. They were among 25,000 Guard members from all 50 states. It's an unprecedented show of force in our nation's capital, ensuring security during the inauguration.
Meanwhile, it was a quiet day at Minnesota's Capitol building in St. Paul. Here's a look at the area where Minnesota State Troopers and Minnesota National Guard soldiers stood by. They were on hand in case any violence would possibly break out, but it has been a very calm day there. Has been very calm there for days now.
Duluth's federal courthouse was one of several buildings across Minnesota that closed this week as a security precaution. State leaders say they made the decision based on security threats against federal buildings and courthouses. Duluth's federal courthouse will reopen at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3 in Wisconsin, you can now take a COVID-19 test in the comforts of your own home. Details on the process coming up.
At Duluth International, the day dawned at 5 below this morning, but then topped out at 29 degrees, which is 10 warmer than normal. Won't stay warmer than normal for long. Already temperatures go down tomorrow, and in between, we do have a chance for light snow tonight through tomorrow. We'll talk about how much could add up and a better chance of snow coming our way. All of this after a break.
Local news and local weather here on CBS 3.
It's the season for streaming and the perfect time to power up all your devices with Extreme Internet. Call today and save with prices as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Go dashing through your shows with amazing speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Powerful in-home Wi-Fi and 99.99% network reliability. Enjoy the gift of high-speed entertainment for as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Dial 844 Extreme 2.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
Menards has the products you need to help keep your home safe. From smoke and carbon monoxide alarms to fire extinguishers and more, Kidde Home Safety products keep your family protected in case of emergencies. This battery-operated combination smoke and carbon monoxide alarm features a voice alert that identifies the hazard. It's just $19.99. Save on Kidde Home Safety products and everything else. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Our schools provide so much more than just learning support.
The school year didn't start out the way that we wanted it to, but who's to say it won't be better at the end?
We need to slow the spread so our economy has a chance to recover.
So our kids can be in school and be on the ice.
And we can keep our friends and families safe. For our students and teachers.
For our essential workers.
For the people you love.
Thank you for doing your part. Go Hunters!
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not a isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world. And that just shows really how interconnected we all are. And I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Everything that happens on a day-to-day basis in terms of news, no matter what happens in news, weather is always constant, weather is always changing as well. So it's still an important role as the meteorologist to kind of still stay grounded and to kind of just know that role and what to take and kind of just make sure you're delivering what's the most important for your viewers. But then also I like to touch base on the national things. All of those news stories also tie in with weather stories because they do go kind of hand in hand.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland city by city.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Temperatures were very January-like this morning, going below zero for just about every town. Well below zero for places like Silver Bay, towards 17 below, 13 below towards Hibbing and Chisholm, even 8 degrees below zero at Solon Springs Airport. Just a couple degrees below zero for our friends in Ironwood and Watersmeet, and same deal for Grand Marais right by the lake. But then warmer air came to call here today, and we went towards 30 above, at least for a day. As early as tomorrow morning, we're going to start to chill down once again, but still warm at this hour. Airport in Duluth, for example, 32 degrees above zero. Relative humidity 66% with a westerly wind 14 miles per hour. Air pressure going down, 29.4 inches of mercury. As a low pressure system eases by our region, and it is going to stir up a chance for some light snow tonight. We'll talk about how much in just a bit. Right now we talk about the current temperature, so we go from as low as 17 below in Silver Bay this morning to 27 above there. And that's a pretty big change in temperatures. Look at 37 in Cloquet, and for our friends in Moose Lake, low to mid-20s in Ironwood and Watersmeet. That's even warmer than normal. Wisconsin numbers 27 to 33, cooler towards Hayward, and warmer in Superior. Minnesota temperatures, well, they can't be sustained like Cloquet, Moose Lake, and Aitkin and Hinckley here everywhere across the region, but still 30 in Ely, 34 Evelyn and Virginia, the Quad Cities there, Hibbing, Chisholm, low 30s, Grand Rapids, 2 International Falls as well. Low temps tonight then are going to be mild, but tomorrow afternoon already, higher pressure starts to come in from Canada, cools us down. Tomorrow morning's lows, so to speak, will be warmer than the daytime highs, and I use that term loosely as well. Doppler map right now shows that low pressure system tracking by the area, and it is already kicking up a very light snow shower chance. There's a 30% chance we'll see some of that around our region tonight, but as far as anything sticking, the best chance will be near the Canadian border and for folks in the snow belt, and there 1 to 2 inches is possible. For the rest of us, maybe a trace to an inch. Then after that, the cooler air comes in to chill us down again for Friday morning, Saturday morning as well. Back to below zero readings to wake up to. But by Sunday, another chance of snow comes our way. I'll talk about that one with our 7-day forecast. And for tonight, Minnesota low temps will go from 10 inland to 24 by the lake. 30% chance for this light snow we're talking about. Same chance for Wisconsin, Michigan with lows there, 20 to 23 degrees above zero. For tomorrow, daytime highs then in the afternoon, Wisconsin, Michigan fall to the teens. And in Minnesota could go anywhere from 7 inland to 20 by the lake. So then it cools down like we mentioned, but clears up for Friday. Then late Saturday, we start to see some flurries return. Sunday gets a 60% chance for snow, and that one might bring 1 to 3 inches to the region here, Tony. So we're just getting teased tonight if we're snow fans, but something at least a little bit better comes to call to finish the end of the weekend.
It looks like a long stretch of January appropriate weather. I feel like it's just kind of been in and out for the last couple weeks, but that looks like a long stretch of seasonally appropriate.
At least closer to normal than we have been.
Yeah, it's been pretty warm. Thanks, Dave. Duluth police officers have started getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Police spokespeople say that process started last weekend and will continue into the coming weeks. They said officers and staff can choose whether or not they want to be vaccinated. Department leaders are also not requiring anyone to report if they've gotten the vaccine, so no word at this point how many employees have gotten their first dose. In mid-November, more than 50 Duluth police employees were impacted by the virus. The department moved to an emergency schedule to help cope with those staffing challenges.
Wisconsin has started sending out at-home COVID-19 test kits. Vault Medical Services provides the saliva-based tests. You collect your sample at home while a supervisor watches via Zoom. You then put your sample kit in a UPS drop box and the test results get mailed back to you. You can request a test through the state's website. Results usually take between 2 to 3 days.
Still ahead in sports, UMD men's hockey is itching to get back to games this weekend. Kelly has a preview coming up next.
Northwest Outlet is your ARE truck topper headquarters.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 100 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really. Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
Hi, I'm Steve Little, owner of Your Home Improvement Company. 2020 was an unbelievable year for all of us. As a family-owned and operated business, we have been doing our best to stay focused on you this past year with our zero interest and zero payments until 2022 program. Thank you for allowing us to assist you in updating your most lived-in asset during this difficult time, your home. From all of us at Your Home Improvement Company, Bath Planet, and my family to yours, have a healthy, happy, and safe new year.
This year's been just a huge year. We've had everything going on with the pandemic. It's hard to not have your heart go out to those people, the millions that have been impacted by that. That's why we do what we do, to try and keep people in the know. What's going on with this? When is it going to end? When's the vaccine going to be here? How is this impacting you? Where are resources to help you get through the pandemic and keep you and your family safe through all of this?
For coverage that matters most to you, tune to live local CBS3.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers get paid training to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. Army National Guard soldiers are learning skills that can set them up for success with companies looking to hire the best.
The Army National Guard basically built my resume for me.
Find out how you can learn a trade and serve part-time for your community and country by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Local news and local weather here on CBS3.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
It will be a weekend full of firsts for the UMD men's hockey team. It'll be the first time they'll have family and friends at their game all year, and the first time they'll clash with Western Michigan, a team that has been posting a fire record as of late, posting a 3-0-1 record in their last 4 games. That included a weekend sweep over St. Cloud State just last weekend. UMD, on the other hand, will be trying to snap a 3-game skid. Head coach Scott Sandilands compared what challenges his team could face since they are coming off a break.
We've always had some very tough games with them, and they don't give you a lot of room. And so again, we're coming off a break, so I'm hoping that we're well rested and we have the energy. We might be a little rusty, but and they're coming off a 2-game sweep of St. Cloud and 5-game unbeaten streak, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. So again, a great challenge for our team.
You can catch the game this weekend on the Mine 9 Sports Network. Puck drop is at 6 p.m. on Saturday and 4 p.m. on Sunday. I know it cuts into the Packers game. I'm sorry, Packers fans. For just the second time this season, the UMD women's hockey team will hit the road to face Bemidji State. The Bulldogs are coming off a solid weekend in which they split the series with third-ranked Ohio State. Well, now they shift their focus to Bemidji State, a team they own a commanding 79-21 all-time series lead on. Head coach Maura Kroll was pleased with her team's recent defensive play, but this weekend she would like to see more offensive production like they had earlier in the season.
Offensively, we just want to get that cranking again, where our players are feeling confident when they have the puck on their sticks and are being creative and having fun in the O-zone, because that's what it's all about. It's a feeling offensively. There is structure to it, but it's also, getting your eyes up, handling pressure, seeing space, or finding your teammates. So looking forward to getting back to that.
Puck drop of Game 1 between the Bulldogs and Bemidji State is set for 7:37 p.m. on Friday. The UMD women's basketball team had an unwanted open weekend this past Friday and Saturday. Instead of heading to Bismarck to play UMary, the team had their series canceled due to COVID-19 protocols. But the team is itching to get back to basketball this weekend. They have been cleared to play, and the Bulldogs are preparing for their first game in almost 2 weeks against Moorhead. Now, despite the road they've traveled, this team feels they've done a good job of taking the cancellations in stride.
Having that mentality that, cautiously optimistic, that's what coach says. And so just being ready for anything at this point. And now we're just going to have to zone in on Moorhead. And since we only have 2 more days until we play, and finding out yesterday that we can play, very grateful that we get to, but just be grateful for that opportunity and get out there and hopefully bring back a sweep.
This team has the right mentality. Their approach to every week, knowing that it's always going to be unknown whether or not we can play, has been really, really good in our program. They bounced back very quickly, so I'm hopeful that, as we know that the way the start has gone in the NSIC, it's going to be up and down.
And the Bulldogs head to take on Moorhead this Friday and Saturday on the road. That's going to do it for sports. For now, we'll have more here coming up tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. For now, Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, things were quiet at the Wisconsin State Capitol today. Here's what it looked like in Madison. No armored trucks or blockades keeping cars out of the Capitol circle. There were police making laps around the building, including dogs sniffing trash cans as they passed by, but that was about it. Few people even passed by the Capitol area. One person our sister station caught up with was a student who says she came to see if anything was going on.
I think we all heard a lot of rumors and stuff, but I wasn't really that nervous. I feel like they're going to be pretty well prepared for everything.
I got back 2 days ago. I was driving up here and also feeling anxious about things going on. I think I was expecting a bit more of a presence at the Capitol today, but I'm relieved that it's calm and just, not really that much going on.
A number of businesses closed out of precaution, but others stayed open, saying it was pretty slow today.
And former President Donald Trump granted pardons to 2 Minnesotans convicted of drug charges today. On his final day in office, Trump pardoned 46-year-old Cassandra Kasowski of Moorhead. She was convicted of conspiring to sell drugs transported from Texas to North Dakota. She served more than 7 years of an 18-year sentence. Trump also pardoned John Wall, a 63-year-old who was convicted of a drug charge in 1992. Wall, who is from Prior Lake, pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession with the intent to distribute meth. He served 5 years in prison and 4 years of supervised release.
Well, tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, Kamala Harris made history, becoming not only the first woman, but the first black person and first person of South Asian descent to become vice president. Tonight, we'll hear from local indigenous leaders on why this is such an important step in America's history.
Well, we were expecting to hear from now President Joe Biden tonight. We kind of previewed that earlier on in the show. We're told we're still waiting for him to take the podium, so it might be just a little bit. We're running out of time here in the show, so we'll have to recap that tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, and we'll have all updates online as well. And before we go, some good news tonight for 2 Northland pups facing some serious health issues.
We first told you about Gus and Precious, 2 American Staffordshire Terriers with dangerous heart murmurs. We told you their story last night. They both need expensive heart surgeries in order to live. Tonight, Animal Allies Humane Society in Duluth says they've raised enough money, that's more than $8,000, to help the 2 dogs. They hope to schedule their surgeries soon.
Ooh. Those vet bills can get so expensive, but glad that they were able to raise that money and save those 2 little pups.
The power of the people.
I know.
People came together to help those dogs out. I love it.
Yeah.
Good uplifting story.
Yeah.
You know what else was uplifting today?
What's that?
That little peak of sunshine that we had.
The power of precip is coming back again. 30% chance for light snow around the region tonight, and we'll start to cool down once again. Though today we warmed up fairly nicely. If you like it warmer than normal, to the almanac, we'll take a peek at that. Today's high was 29, the normal's 19, but we started at 5 below versus the normal of 1. 35 below is the record low from 1996. That was a long, cold snap. That's the one that culminated in the state record getting set at close to 60 below in Tower, Sedan, or at least south of Tower in Kugler Township back then on Groundhog Day. Not that cold this time around, no, but it will cool down once again. This warm spell that we're facing today is a short-lived one, because tomorrow, well, our overnight low temps will be warmer than the daytime highs. We'll finish at about 15 tomorrow with a 30% chance for a trace to maybe an inch or 2 of snow from a small low-pressure system passing by the region. Then colder air plows back in from Canada. That gets us on Friday with a partly cloudy sky and a high of only 10 above. Late Saturday into Sunday, that's another chance of snow coming around for the snow fans that may be a little more substantial than the Thursday one. We might run 1 to 3 inches of snow on Sunday before it dries up on Monday.
Busy day today.
Very busy, yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We'll see you again at 10 o'clock.